Hi friends, so I just woke up. I'm in the midst of a pretty big flare-up for fibromyalgia. To be honest, I'm kind of scared to get out of bed. I thought maybe now might be a good time to show you how I stretch when I'm in the midst of a flare-up. I do Ki-Hara resistance stretching, which is a stretching technique that really helps with fibromyalgia. To do Ki-Hara, you have to move all the time. You have to resist all the time, and when things hurt, stop. Or don't go any further, don't push anything, only do what feels good to your body. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch a bit and see if I can get myself out of bed today. The first stretch I do is for the back of my hips. I'm just going to put one leg over the top, reach through and grab, and I'm going to push with my leg into my other leg and pull in with my arms. And I'm just going to go in the range that feels good to me. Super tight today. But as I do more and more reps, it seems to open up a little bit more, which is good. Pain sucks, you guys. I'm pushing with my left leg into my right leg and pulling in with my arms. And the more I do it, the more it opens up. I'm going to bring my legs up and stretch out my inner thighs. I'm going to put my hands in between my legs like this. My feet are pointing up towards the ceiling, but my hamstrings are tight right now, so they're going to be bent. And I'm going to push my legs together while I use my arms to push them open. And I'm going to stretch out my hip flexors. I'm just going to hold one leg up, and I'm going to let the other leg fight gravity. I'm just going to very slowly let it straighten out. And now for my hamstrings, I'm going to grab my leg behind, and I'm just going to push my leg into my hands, really pull in with my arms. And again, super tight, so I'm not going to go very far today. I don't know what caused this flare up. I ate hummus last night. Sometimes that'll do it. Sometimes the weather. Who knows? I'm not really under any stress, so I don't really think it's that. Now, a good one for your plantar fascia. I'm going to keep my leg in this position. I'm just going to rotate my foot around in circles. But I keep resisting with my leg, and that keeps the fascia tight so that I can get a good stretch through the fascia. Wiggling my toes a bit, trying to get a nice stretch. The straighter your leg is, the more intense it'll be. So I'm pushing with my leg into my arms the whole time, even when I'm pulling in. So it's not a relaxed stretch. The muscle's really active. I like to think of it like a rubber band. When you pull a rubber band and then you, like, it's kind of tight and you just kind of go like this. And each time maybe it gets a little bit bigger and it gets a little bit more springy. That's what we want, more springiness in our muscles. Then I'm going to hold my leg here again, and I'm going to do my foot again. So I'm just going to rotate it around. I'm going to keep the resistance all the time. So I'm just going to take my right hand and my right foot, and I'm going to grab my big toe. And I'm going to kick my heel down and in towards the midline of my body, and then I'm going to pull up and out for strength and the stretch. So I'm pulling at a diagonal, so I'm actually pulling up towards the right, and I feel a stretch in my inner thigh, inner hamstring. This one usually feels pretty good. I'm going to do the same one on the other side. I grab my big toe, and I'm kicking down towards the midline of my body, and I'm pulling up and out. I'm just going to go in the range that feels good to me. I'm pulling with my arm while my leg is fighting still. I'm going to stretch my quads. I'm going to bring my right leg up and cross my left leg over top. And I'm going to push the two together. So I'm pushing my right leg up towards the ceiling and my left leg is fighting it. And then on the way down, my left leg's going to win and pull me down into the stretch. And I just go back and forth. This is a pretty subtle one, a stretch always, but you can really feel the strength of it. Really loosens up your quads. And then we'll try the other side too. Up for strength and down for stretch. So you've got tension all the time between your foot, between both feet. And now I'm going to stretch out the the outside hamstring. So to do this, I have to cross my leg over my body. This one's a little tricky. So you're going to grab your outside, the outside of your foot with your opposite hand. So I've got my right leg and my left hand, and I'm going to try to turn my knee in and pull my leg up towards the left corner of my bed. This one you may need a strap to do. And that one's much needed. Holy moly. Then my right arm is going to come across and grab the outside of my foot. I'm going to turn my knee over my sternum. So I'm not turned out this way, but I'm actually turning my knee in. I'm going to kick down and pull up. So when I kick down, I'm kicking down towards my left hand. It's down here. And I'm going to pull up towards my right shoulder, towards the right corner of my bed. Okay, time to sit up. I think I can do this. I did it. Out of bed. So now that I'm out of bed, there are a couple more stretches that I like to do just to open things up a bit. One is in a doorway. I have this nice doorway right into my kitchen, which really helps. So I like to bring my hands to the upper corner. Luckily, I'm tall enough to reach. And then I just step through. I'm pushing with my hands into the doorway, and that stretches out my chest. I can get it in a couple different angles, so I'm going to bring my arms to like a push-up position, and I'm going to do a push-up through the wall, focusing on the reverse part of the push-up, and this gives me a stretch through my chest. I can do this while I'm waiting for my coffee. Can you hear it brewing? And then down low. Oh, couple great chest stretches. Really good ones. Then for my lats, I bring my arm up to the corner and I just kind of lean down into it. And then I pull back up. I'm pushing my arm into the wall, so I'm staying really active through the muscle. Just a couple's fine because you're just trying to get through your day. So just lean into that stretch, but I'm keeping my arm active by continuing to resist it. And I just move into the stretch and then I come right back out of it. And each time I just move in a little bit deeper into the stretch. Those were all inside muscles, so now I want to work on some of the outside muscles. So I'm going to stretch at the top of my shoulder first. I'm going to come up this way. I'm pushing with my hand into my wrist. My wrist is pushing up towards the ceiling. And I come down and I can bring my head away from that shoulder too. That stretches right here. Doesn't matter how many you do. You could do up to 10, that'd be fine, but I like to stretch just a few times, maybe like 3 or 4. Unless the stretch feels really great, then I'll stay there for a while. I'm going to go to the other side of my neck, but on a different angle. So I'm going to bring my arm across, and then I'm going to come up for strength and pull down for my stretch. My head will go to the side. Hey, Bubba. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Up for strength, and I pull down for my stretch. I'm keeping resistance the whole time between my hand and my wrist. So my right hand here is trying to stay up in the air. My left hand's trying to keep it down towards my left side. I'm going to stretch to the back of my shoulder. So I'm going to pull across this way. And then I'm going to use the other arm to pull across my body. So my arms are trying to stay apart. And I'm pulling towards my right side now and pushing open towards my left side. I'm resisting the whole time. It stretches out the back of your shoulder, kind of like right through here. And I've got one more I want to do. I'm going to bring my fingers together like this. I'm going to put my hands over my head and let them hover right over my crown chakra. And I'm going to close my elbows back and forth. I think maybe I need one more. I know I said that was the last one. I'm going to bring my legs wide apart and bring my hands behind my head like this. I'm interlocking my fingers like this, and I'm going to try to pull them apart. And then I'm just going to reach from one side to the other. This is where I tend to lock up the most. I feel like most people have a pain point in fibromyalgia where where it tends to grab the most, and lately mine has been right through my sides here on either side. This stretch really seems to get it. Oh boy, this will help everything. This will help everything. Good morning, warriors. Go on with your day. For more information, go to stretchtree.com. Give me a thumbs up and tell your friends.